Well, a cop actually arrests a man for looking suspicious. Here's the video.
You ain't just walking, man. You look back at us a couple of times. You came down here, you stopped. No, you stopped right here. You look down the street like you're looking for somebody.
So I committed a crime by doing that?
You're suspicious in the area. Do you live around here?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's number one. You just told me out your mouth.
I didn't commit a crime. Nothing.
Hey, man, you live
I
around
didn't
here?
do anything unlawful.
Why you walking around here at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Because it's a public sidewalk.
Because you was being very suspicious.
Because I'm in a high crime area and I'm walking down the sidewalk, I'm being arrested.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
Well, you're going to jail for disorderly conduct, okay?
I didn't do anything disorderly. All I did was ask you questions.
All right.
You never answered my question.
I did answer your question.
No, you didn't. Can I have your name, sir?
It'll be on your paperwork. Have a seat, sir. Oh, let me take everything out your pockets first.
I got some background for you. Put up the police emblem for a mask. Maryland cop unlawfully searched a black male before arresting him for, quote, looking suspicious while walking down a public sidewalk. A black man was arrested in Maryland for doing nothing more than walking. Well, he was walking while black. After the cop refused to inform him of the crime he committed, because he did commit one, he then arrested him for disorderly conduct for refusing to identify himself, according to the report. What crime have I committed? The man asked. Ultimately, he was questioned over walking at 1 a.m. Number one, you don't have ID, the cop responds. Well, that's not a crime, the black man responds. Listen to me. In the state of Maryland, anywhere you go, you need identification, the cop says. Failure to identify yourself, you can go to jail, okay? I didn't commit a crime, nothing. The black man says, I didn't do anything unlawful. Why are you walking around here at 1 o'clock in the morning? Because it's a public sidewalk, end quote. However, Maryland law requires police to have a reasonable suspicion that the person they are detaining may be carrying a gun before they can lawfully demand identification if the person is not driving. People are required to provide identification if they are pulled over. None of those scenarios were present in this situation. So the cop misapplies the law. The cop then violates the law. And there's more. In this case, the Seat Pleasant police officer never mentioned a gun once during the detainment, according to body camera footage posted on the We the People University YouTube channel. Instead, the police officer accused the black male, whose name has not been publicized and whose face was obscured from the video, of acting suspicious for walking down a public sidewalk late at night, then looking back at the cops, literally for looking. The cop then handcuffs and arrests him on a disorderly conduct charge. Quote, I didn't do anything disorderly. All I did was ask you questions. You never answered my questions, the black man says as he is being arrested. Maryland law states that cops can only search citizens if they have probable cause the person has committed a crime, which is a higher standard of proof compared to reasonable suspicion, which, by the way, he didn't even have reasonable suspicion. So currently it's not clear from the body cam, but put this up, like who all is involved when the incident took place, but it is at least 2 years old because it took place under the previous Seat Pleasant police chief, Devin Martin, who was suspended in 2022 for mismanagement and has since been replaced according to the information that we received. Now, we highlight this because we understand that there's a culture that we're trying to break up, eliminate, provide light, get rid of the darkness. This is a microcosm, but it speaks to the macrocosm of how the industry operates. You clearly saw a man who was absolutely not committing a crime, cited the law properly. The officer, he knew better. He decided to engage in conduct unbecoming. You see, in my opinion, when an officer decides to violate the rights of a citizen and arrest a citizen without cause, that is illegal. Should not simply be a civil penalty. That should be actually a crime every single time, no matter what. And when the officer decides to engage in this way, it creates a separation, even more so, between community and cop. You're working backwards. So if you actually care about having a better relationship with the community, you got to get rid of cops like this, because these cops not only lead to distrust, they lead to defunding. And defunding that does not reprioritize the money, it just gives the money to somebody else rather than actually address the elements of public safety in your local community. Senator, thoughts?
Yeah, it decreases respect and
Yep.
belief that the police or law enforcement will operate fairly. And I knew this was a brother, 'cause I could tell by his voice, his speech pattern, and it just really reinforces that the lack of respect for Black lives is not just about white officers; it is a code within law enforcement. And I want to reinforce that not all members of law enforcement comport themselves this way, but it is a major, major problem within the law enforcement, these implicit and explicit biases. And Dr. just made me think of the vagrancy laws, in the 1800s, really 1860s, around 1866. And those vagrancy laws did not come into effect until, guess what, after the Civil War, when millions of Black people were freed. And so in order to subjugate them into similar conditions of slavery, any Black person, it was universal, but any Black person that was caught being suspected of being homeless or being unemployed could be forced into labor. If this had been the 1860s, that very well could have happened to this young brother. He knew his rights. He quoted his rights. I'm glad that that camera was rolling. I am so proud of him. And I see a lawsuit brewing, and I hope he does sue the heck out of this police department. What they did to him is wrong. They do it to him today. It could be somebody else tomorrow. But I want people really to pay attention that the more things change, the more they stay the same. And they just put a 21st century, you don't belong here. You look suspicious. Just being Black alone, it makes us suspicious, makes us alien to this nation, even in the 21st century. Doc, I want our viewers, please, y'all go up and look up them vagrancy laws. This is a remnant of that.
That's right. Well said.